So let's go to the Git channel. By now you should have already downloaded those two files. If you haven't, do it now. So in this package you will see six shell scripts I wrote for your convenience. Let's quickly go through them and let me tell you what they are. So the CM, okay, it's a shell script to make you commit your changes on Git. If you don't know what I mean, I will demonstrate later, but now it's a brief summary. The log script is a command to show your log, your history on Git. This new branch script helps you to make a new branch, as its name suggests. And this show branch script shows you all the branches you have. Okay, now let's go to the most important two files: the pull and the push. Okay, for those of you already used Git before, you should know Git pull and Git push. But now here we packaged a lot of instructions in there to make this automatic and follow some requirement of some workflow of my own requirement. Those requirements are not universal, not absolute, and just my requirement to make the looking better. So first of all, let me go to the Git website, to show you the web interface. So here you see some example of Git commits. So ideally everybody should be working at the same time and merge the code together and not step on other people's toes. That's very important. Do not step on other people's toes, otherwise it will be a mess. So Git is such a tool to prevent you from stepping on other people's toes. So the most important tab is this commit tab, and this is the example log, the history of our project. You will see a very nice pattern that everything is linear. There is only one chain. Actually, if you follow through, there is actually only one chain. Although in reality people are working together, but we can trick Git a little bit to make it look nice like a one chain, and within one like small bump here is like a tiny milestone of what you worked on, and so this milestone might take 3 commits, others might take only 1, but it doesn't matter. And you can easily see it's like a small milestone summary of this portion. So, and the purpose of this workshop is to teach you how to create this nice linear fashion of Git history without those complicated merging pattern. Although you are actually doing the pattern, but you can actually hide those nasty merging structures using my script. Okay, so let me show you everything in action. Actually, why not? Okay, so you go to your Git folder. So for the first time, if you never used Git before, you just create a folder and do this. And I'm not going to do this because I already initialized my Git. But if you didn't, just do this to initialize Git. repository. So you will see here, those are the shell scripts I told you earlier, the one that ends with sh. Okay, I know how to run shell script on Mac and Linux. I don't know how to run shell script on Windows, but I don't think that's going to be very hard. If you do little research, for those Windows people, if you do little research, you should be able to figure out how to run shell script on this. So the trick is, you don't write that directly. You need to do this dot slash and then whatever you want to do. So let me show the branches I have. Okay, this JL is my own branch. The master is a master. Everybody has this master branch, and there are remote branches. I don't think this is necessary. Somebody should delete this later. But anyway, so that's an example to show you how to run a shell script. Okay, you can also, so for those of you new to this, if you haven't created your own branch yet, you should do this new branch and then follow your name. Okay, in just a abbreviation of your name is fine. Just make sure nobody else has the same as long as nobody else has the same abbreviation as yours, you should be fine. So in this case, this is my initial, and you just hit enter and you'll be able to create your own branch. And in my case, my network is not friendly to Git, so actually let me switch to my own network to speed this up, otherwise it's taking forever. This has nothing to do with you, it's just my network is not Git friendly. Uh-oh. Okay. We have a reconnection on Skype. Are you still with me? Actually, please say so.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Now I switch to a better network. We should be able to. Huh? Okay. Let me terminate this process and do it again. Okay, and you will see a fatal error. A branch named JL already exists, which is expected, as you know it indeed already exists. But in your case, this should not happen. So this first switch to master branch and creates a branch of your name. So you always create your branch based from master. So this script makes sure that happens. So if you actually see the content of it, you first check out the master branch and the updates at master branch. Make sure it's new. It's the newest master branch, and then it checks out a new branch. So, but in my case, because there is a fatal error, always be on your own branch. So I'm manually switching to my branch, and you don't have to, because the script should take care of yours. Okay, now I'm on my branch, right? Just making sure you can use git status to see on branch JL. That's mine, right? Or you can use this to check you are really on your own branch, right? Okay, so one thing to remember: always stay on your own branch. Don't stay on master. Okay. So now I showed how to use the new branch and show branch, right? Okay, there's a lock. Okay, lock. Let me show you the lock. Okay, lock, right? As simple as that. This might look familiar to you because as you guess what? This is the same thing on the web. Okay, this is the web interface, and this is your local interface. As simple as that. Okay, now we talk about the three least important one. Now let's work on the really important one. Okay, so I am here, I am in my Git folder, right? Now let's make something different so you can know how Git works. Okay, so let me make a folder, make a directory, call it demo, right? Demo is good. I go to the demo directory and I create a new file. What is it called? demo.cs. I can write something, write something. Just writing garbage here. Okay. I save. You should see there's a demo script. But let me go back to the root, the so-called root, not really the root. So now if you run git status, you should see that I created a new directory. Now indeed that's what happened. So now you want to make sure, now only you can see that, right? Only you can see that. You want to make sure other people can also see that. So what you do is you run commit cm and include the message what you did. So in this case, temporary file for demo purpose, delete this later. Okay, just a short description what you did, what's the purpose of this commit. Okay, it's committed. So if you use log, you should indeed see now there is a new commit above this, right? And again, I cannot emphasize enough, always commit on your own branch. Don't commit on master. Whenever you commit, make sure you are on your own branch. If there's only one thing to remember from this workshop, remember this: commit on your own branch. Make sure you are on your own branch, then commit. Okay, so now we want to make sure the server can also see it, so other people can update their file from the server. What you should do is actually to push it to the server. So what you do is you first pull to make sure your own directory is already up to date, right? Take care of yourself before you take care of other people. So you pull
done. Now push with message.
So this is a very intelligent script. It even speaks. I don't know if this speaks on Windows, but for sure it speaks on Mac. But let me go back a little bit to show you what happened here. So this pull script will first switch to the master branch. Remember, you were previously on your own branch. It switched to the master branch and updates the master branch. In this case, it's already up to date, but if it has new file to download, it will download at that time. And you check it's already up to date, right? Now you switch to your own branch, switch back to your own branch, and to see if it's up to date. Okay, it is up to date. You are on your own branch, and nothing to commit. Work pretty clean. Now you are able to run push with message. Push. What message do you say? It's basically the summary of what you did for this milestone. In this case, I only have one commit, So it seems like trivial to write the thing again, but in reality you might have multiple commits before you push. In that case, you write a summary of all those commits. You write a summary of all those commits. Yeah, as simple as that. So in this case, since I only have one more commit, it is as simple as one commit. You just write your message there.
Push done.
Okay, you switch to master. You actually rebase to master in that case, but the server sees a new file, 7 lines, and push to the server. So now if we go to the server, you should see that updated. So now I haven't refreshed yet, but once after I refresh, you will be able to see it now. Okay, now let me refresh this. Right? There is only one commit. That's my commit, and that is my push. That is my push. Again, everything is in a linear, nice and linear fashion, right? Good. Let me just make it more realistic. Let's see what a push of multiple commits looks like. So not this one. So I might change some script here. Indeed, do a commit here. Okay, since it's a demo, I'm writing trivial message, but in real life, your message should be whatever you did, right? Let me do another modification. Commit again, just for your record. It's all again changed. One more time. Let's do 3. Always use get status to know your status. So it's again, some file is modified. Commit. Okay. Now you can use log to see your history. I did the mod 1, mod 2, mod 3 exactly as we did. So now let's do a push. Again, always remember pull before you push.
Pull done. Now push with message.
Pull down, now push with message. Okay, again, this is a demo. I have no meaningful message to write there, but in your real actual working, you should write some meaningful message there.
Push done.
Push down, we can check out the log, right? This is the left branch is always the master branch, and this is my own branch, and my own branch is the merged into the master branch, and this is a summary. This is a summary of those 3 commits. So every individual commit have their own summary, and this big one serves as the summary of all 3 commits there, or all 5 or 10, whatever in your case. So now let's compare with the server. But after I refresh, you will see this again as we expected. So far, that's the Git process of one person working alone. But in reality, things are more complicated. Multiple people might be able to work together. In that case, it will be very stupid to wait for other people to write and then you write after them. Ideally, everybody should work together concurrently. So in this case, we will simulate such a case. So we will invite one assistant to do another commit from their side, which I will not be able to see, and we do that simultaneously at the same time, and we will show you how to resolve that kind of a so-called conflict. So well, I'm simulating another person to so in this case, I will be modifying my script. I'll be modifying my script, and she'll be modifying her script. But in this case, we will do this the easy way, that such that the conflict is so obvious, Git can resolve the conflict automatically. Let's see how that works. So I will do a change here. And my assistant will do a change, basically a change here, right? So they are separated so far away, Git can automatically resolve that conflict. So this is to show you I don't actually do this. This is just to show you. VR demo slash demo 大写 demo 大写 demo slash demo 关键输入法 demo slash demo。 So while we were being silent, my assistant is doing the change from her side. So I'm saving this change. As you can see, I added some change at the top of the file, and she will add some change at the bottom of the file, and we are doing this at the same time. So just to make sure, let's check if the server already received her change. Right, the server received her change. Let's see what is the change. See, the server highlighted. She adds something at the bottom of the file. In contrast, we add something at the top of the file. So Git is smart enough to resolve that conflict automatically. But before we do that, I just want to point out some interesting thing here. So she knows she made the change, right? Of course, she knows her change herself, and because she pushed the change to the server also knows the change. But what's interesting, the why change, you can see What's interesting is that I don't know the change. To show you what I mean, I don't know, let's check out the log. Let's see the log. My log is still here, you see. My log is still at the log mod 1, mod 2, mod 3. My log is still here, right? Because she's doing that at the same time with me, so but she's able to somehow lucky enough to push before me, so she changed that. So actually, if you want to make this visual, I actually branch out from here to I actually fork out from here. So I actually fork out from here. So so I need to resolve that change. But my script is somehow smart enough. It does that automatically. I just need to pull, and it will resolve the change automatically.
Maybe merge conflicts.
So what happened? I guess what happened? I forgot to commit my change. So always commit your change before you always commit your change before you do the push. Pull. So now I'm able to pull.
Pull done. Now push with message.
You see, I never heard of any conflict besides because actually if we check the log, actually this is what happened. It did the rewinding to the head automatically. It did the rewinding automatically. So that's what happened. So now I am able to push.
Push done.
Okay, now again let's check the website, check the server. So she did the change the same time with me. But if we refresh, we will be able to see the structure like this. Although we did that simultaneously, my script can actually trick Git to make it look like everything is in sequence. Although in practice, we did those changes at the same time. Okay, that's the easy version. The most likely version is that Git is able to resolve all the conflicts automatically. If you don't believe me, let's actually see it. It's right. This is a change I did, right? This is a change she did. Now both change is merged into the same file. So ideally, we should never, we shouldn't even have this situation, because ideally everybody should be in charge of their own file. But things happen, so those kind of things happen. But now let's look at the more complicated. Let's look at a more complicated scenario. Okay. Okay. So this time we are going to change the very same thing, such that Git cannot automatically resolve the conflict. And by that I mean we change the same place. Okay, so I will change this to for example, this was 11111, right? I will change it to 2222222. Okay, at the same time she will change the same line to 33333. Okay. I change it to 2222, right? I will save it. Save. Quit. Okay, I'm waiting for my assistant. Cool. Good, cool. Cool, 脚本 So again, I'm waiting for her to push her change. So in this case, I want to show you how to resolve a conflict that otherwise is not resolvable. That requires human intelligence. Actually, this will be quite interesting practice to do, because how to resolve the conflict is really case by case, and there is laws to do that. Let me refresh to see if I have her change. Not yet. Message. Cool. Push. Okay, right? I was here. Now she made some change here. Let's see what it is. Right? It was 1111. Now changed to 3333. Right? 3 versus my changes. If you remember, I changed that to 2222. Okay. Git. There's no way Git is clever enough to resolve that change automatically, because I don't even think I can resolve the change. But let's see what happens. Okay. So again, she made the change, so she knows the change, and she pushed the change, so the server knows the change. But actually, I don't know it yet, because I didn't pull. I don't know that yet. So actually, in my universe, I'm still here, and she's there. So let me show you the log to show you what I mean. Right? I'm still here. I don't see her change yet. Always use git status to know the status. So in this case, I need to commit my change first. In that case, I change it to 2. Okay, now everything's good. Now everything's good, I can pull. But remember, there will be a conflict. So let's look out for that conflict.
Maybe merge conflicts.
See, my script is very clever. If there's a conflict, it will tell you there is a conflict. So it's maybe merge conflict, so it's not always a merge conflict. But if you see this, it's definitely a merge conflict. You should use git rebase continue to resolve your conflict. So you should use this too. But before that, we need to actually manually resolve the conflict. So how we resolve the conflict is actually like this. So we're in process to do the rebase, but there is a conflict, it cannot resolve. Which file? This file. So we open this file. So we open this file, and so you will notice this. This is how git tells you that there is a conflict. This is actually my change, right? And this is the server's change, and Git has no idea how to resolve the change. So you just give me both versions and let me decide what to do. So since this is not real code, I have no idea how to resolve this change. So what I do is I keep them both, and make sure you delete this. So I keep them both. That'll be my way to resolve the change. Of course, in real life, it depends on the real code. The code you need to actually to do this, or maybe another creative way to resolve this is actually make it 55555. You add them together. Maybe that's a more suitable conflict way to resolve the conflict. So save, git status. Always check the status if you don't know what to do. Okay, I need to just basically you read git add file to mark the resolution. Okay, I already resolved the file. I need to tell Git I resolved it. So I git add. Alright, now let's see Git status, what's going on. Okay, rebase in progress on my branch. All conflicts fixed, run, git rebase, continue. Just follow the instruction. Git rebase continue, and it will continue to rebase. Good. Nothing to commit. Work tree clean. And check out. Let's see the log. So that is her change. That's my change. What is this? I don't know. I don't remember. So let's pull again to make sure nobody else add new files.
Pull done. Now push with message. Push done.
Push down. Okay, let's see the server. What happened? Right, as we discussed before, she made the change, and she changed that to 33333. Okay, and I made the change of 22222. We did the same change and the same time. There's no way at the same place, same change, same time, same place, Git does resolve the conflict. So Git will let me resolve the conflict myself. So now, as the final version is 55555. So here, there is all you need to know about Git. Two things to remember. Always stay on your own branch. Okay, if you not this one, if you started out new, just if you are on master branch, just use this new branch to create your own branch, and after that always stay on your own branch. Okay, that's one thing to remember. Two, always commit before you pull. Okay, if you get status, okay, maybe the tip 1.5 is use git status often. So now you can see there's some untracked file or modified file. You should always commit that before you do everything else. Before you do anything else, just always commit your script. commit your change. If you don't commit your change, Git doesn't know. Git is blind to that file. Okay. Tip 1.5, always use Git status to know what's going on. Okay, that's the best message. Okay, you will be happy if you see that message. Okay, now you're ready to. Okay, now tip number 2 is commit before you pull. Tip number 3 is pull before you push.
Pull done, now push with message.
It is a good habit to pull often, and another good habit is to push often, because
Push done.
because if two people are working on the same file at the same time, the person that pushes earlier will not see any conflict. The person that pushes later have to manually resolve the conflict. So I hope that gives you an incentive to push often, because if you push early, you do less work. If you push late, you need to manually resolve the conflict. So you always want to push early so that you can leave the trouble to other people. That is actually a good attitude here. Okay, in my company, that is a good attitude. Leave the trouble to other people. So I mean it. Yeah. Also applies to when you write interface. The attitude is also leave the trouble to other people. When you do dependency injection, the attitude is also leave the trouble to other people. So it is actually a good attitude here in my company. So that is my commit. So now it concludes my Git workshop. It also concludes all the workshop. So now at this point, let's review what you have learned. You learned all the coding principles, such as the solid principle, dry principle, dependency injection, and the law of Demeter. Those are the 4 coding principles I want you to remember. If I wake you up 3 in the morning and I ask you what are the coding principles, I want you to say those 4 principles without any problem. So I will wake you up 3 in the morning and ask you what's the coding principles. You should be able to answer solid, dry, law of Demeter, and dependency injection. So okay, that's the content of the first workshop. What did we do in the second workshop is unit testing. How to use unit testing to test your code automatically and systematically. And at the same time, I told you how to use the dependency injection framework. That's a very powerful invention, as powerful as inventing a new programming language. And today I told you how to use Git, so you will be able to work collaboratively, to work with other people, to work more efficiently, and to work with the ability to go back in time. If you delete some code accidentally or not accidentally and you want to go back to that, as long as you commit your change, as long as you push, you will always able to find your old code like this. Okay, so this is our last workshop. You should be able to be a capable programmer to work for my company at this point on. And any questions, any last minute questions, I will take questions. Remember to unmute your mic before you speak. Or no questions? If no questions, some questions here. Okay, commit on your own branch. Yes, commit on your own branch. Never commit on master branch. think of the master branch as the shared branch by everybody. So yeah, no questions. No questions. No questions. I will end the recording.